We're back, everybody, the Your Little Castle show. And it's great to see when you got people on who really care. And it's very evident. Check out that first interview. Stay tuned for this one, too, everybody.
But this feels different. I like this.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'd like to put the spotlight on the leaders, everybody. So Gio stuck around here for a second half hour, and we want to help the small. I'm a small guy. We're small guys. We don't have 47 people working for us and 14 locations. Maybe someday, right? We're working at it. We'll see. But the bottom line is, there are so many people that deserve to have what they are good at shared with other people, because it's good for everybody to know these people, because they're not gouging, they're not trying to manipulate, they're not hocus pocus. We hear these stories about people, oh, they came in and they came this, and then they said all of a sudden, no, I got to replace all my plumbing. The guy comes in with a drain cleaner, $300, didn't need to replace all the plumbing. These are the kinds of things, the stories you hear about, and you don't want that to happen to people. So when I figured out there was a way to produce a show, yes, I am doing the job of, now we counted 13 people. I'm a computer nerd. I'm not good at much, but I can do this. And my buddy Paul Brown, who worked for ABC and back in the day as a reporter, and had a show on KMOX, said, Carter, you forgot and he's gonna help me count. He goes, you forgot, who does the graphics? I said, I do. He goes, that's 13 people. All right. Likewise, you could have a whole crew, but you, and is it Alex? Is that somebody who helps you?
Actually, Eddie. Eddie helps me. He's my main man, yeah.
Eddie, okay. And I was looking through the reviews. Maybe I got the name wrong. But
no, Alex used to help us quite a bit. He still does in Chicago,
okay.
but not in this area.
I got you. But the bottom line is, we don't need crews of 47 people.
Yes.
We go in, do it efficiently, and I just want to help share the word with other people about the people who are doing that.
Absolutely. I'm all about being efficient. I mean, I grew up poor, and I know what a dollar is, even though it doesn't stretch as far as it used to. So there are processes that, are approved by many companies that people might call me on, and I take the time to explain why we do it and or in certain situations why we should not do certain things. For example, removing an old barrier from a crawl space that's going to get a new barrier in. Is that necessary? No. It's actually detrimental. You're releasing spores as you're removing that old barrier. That old barrier can serve as an additional layer over a more optimal barrier that will outlast that barrier. Shouldn't be removed. So that's one of the things where we save people sometimes thousands of dollars just from that one process alone. We've been around the block. We're sometimes called by other companies to solve situations that seem unsolvable, and we solve it at a very efficient and affordable way.
Also, it's important to do these things in a thorough way, like you're talking about, to make sure they're done right, because how often, that's why I like your guarantee. Read that up there, everybody. I made the title myself. I'm the title creator too, by the way. But right there, so it was going to time itself for me, but there we go. I'll make it come up again. Lifetime guaranteed mold removal.
Yes.
That means you're getting the job done right, because you don't want to come out there a second and a third time. But in the instance that there is some mold that kind of crept its way around, mold's a sneaky little creature, right? It'll get everywhere, and if there has to be time, you'll come back and fix it even afterwards.
Yes, we have had 0 callbacks since 2007. And it's because of our process. So there are some companies that use one of our processes. Some companies use 2 steps. We have a 7-step foolproof process that goes above and beyond EPA standards and OSHA standards and all of the guidelines that we've learned. Again, it's non-toxic and it's backed with a lifetime guarantee. We do recommend people to have us come service if it's a crawl space specifically once a year to change the filter in the dehumidifier, inspect for any possible leaks from other unrelated plumbing or whatnot to stop a problem from building up before it's too late. So it is a good idea to have us come out at least once a year to give visual inspections. But again, this is something that once we're there, you don't got to see us again unless you want to.
Well, if there's another problem, you'll come fix that one too.
Absolutely, we stand by our products. We don't run from the phone. We pick up every call. I like to personally pick up every call. I'm on every job personally. The beginning, I'm the first face you'll see. I'll be there during the job. I'll be there in the end to make sure that you understand every step of the process. Pictures, documentation, whatever need be, lifetime guarantees, which are fully transferable to future owners as well. And I've had some clients for over 15 years that have sold their homes, and I've had to retype the guarantee for the new owners, and I love that feeling. I've had some clients that have passed the houses on to their children after they've passed away. We've been around for a while, And I provide the same care for the family as I did for the first client who called me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Ultimately, if that phone rings again from a client, it's because maybe they're saying, I got another job for you. We have another property. How often do you get those referrals or somebody that said, hey, man, this is who we can trust? Referral is the best type of business right there.
A lot. And some of our clients are huge property owners that own hundreds of properties. And so again, so we work for rentals and homeowners. We're certified for residential. We're also certified for commercial. We've done quite a bit of industrial. We did the largest silica mine in the United States. We remediated that when there was almost an avalanche pending, and we had to hurry up and finish the job before we potentially ended up underwater in a silica mine. So that was very interesting and exciting. And I love a challenge. I love, the jobs that people say, well, I don't know if you're going to get in there. I don't know how you're going to do this. And those are the jobs that I love. So yeah, we've had some challenging jobs. I haven't had one that whipped me yet.
Well, he's a big, strong man here too, everybody. Gio has been doing this for a long time. His heart is in the right place too. That's what we think is most important. Well, that's good information there with regard. I mean, what sets you apart, it's pretty clear that you do all of it, what it takes to get the job done. And that's what, as such in life. Do things halfway, cut corners, you're going to end up doing them twice. You're going to spend more time, you're going to spend more money, and it costs everybody, including the client very often, right? What is the biggest mistake, though, that you see people make? Is it they don't do their homework, they don't get the right information? What would you say is the biggest mistake consumers make?
Oh gosh, there are a lot of them. And it really depends on the situation. There's so many unique situations. That's why I really tell people, I say, hey, I can give you an idea over the phone. Let me get a video of the property, at the least some pictures, or put my eyes on it, or inspection report, because there are a lot of things that, people sometimes misstep. This, again, I want to emphasize the importance of testing first and foremost. Is it mold? We don't know. Let's test it. Let's make sure. Is it black mold? No way to know unless we test it. Is there elevated mold in a room, whether there's visible mold or not? We don't know unless we test it. So testing is crucial, and it can save thousands. Trying to tackle something yourself without gathering the information can also be detrimental and very, very not cost effective. So yes, give us a call, even if you simply want to, find out, hey, what's the proper process. We do offer consulting. We do charge. It's a $200 for 1 hour consulting, and we are certified in mold protocols, so we can write the protocols for you for the remediation, and we've done so. Wow.
Okay. So ultimately, that $200 could be a very inexpensive way to solve what could be a very big problem. Versus, I can only imagine, I've dealt with this a little bit myself, but how often they go, oh, just put some chlorine on there, take care of it yourself. Meanwhile, they don't realize there's a much bigger problem, or maybe they think it's a lot worse than it is, but until you actually know, get that test done. Test. We talk about that in the marketing world too. It's called split testing very often, or you test a particular campaign. Test everything. Why wouldn't you? None of us liked tests when we were kids.
I know.
But this test here can save a lot of hassle, a lot of work, and potentially somebody's life.
If I may quickly add a quick little story, I had a client who lived in a very huge home, and then she downsized to a smaller home. And she said she was experiencing issues that seemed like mold. Well, we did testing, no mold, no levels. So I started talking to her and asking her questions. She hadn't made many life changes other than moving from a huge home with vaulted ceilings to a smaller home with shorter ceilings. Found out that she was cleaning with bleach, which lets off VOCs. So with the smaller ceilings, the gases of the bleach were affecting her, whereas when she was in the huger home, the gases were allowed to go to the top of the ceiling.
Further away
so I
from
just
her body.
all she had to do was change her cleaning products. Problem solved.
You're not dying of mold. You have a different reaction to the proximity of what was going on there. Very interesting. All right. But you did mention you do residential, commercial, and industrial. If you had to break it down percentage-wise, what percentage would you say is residential, commercial, or industrial?
I would say a good 80 to 90% is residential. Many homeowners in our area experience humidity from the foundation primarily. A lot of times attic leaks. A lot of time people are getting mold on their ceiling and they think it's an attic leak, but it's actually the rising of the humidity and it's starting below. That happens 80 to 90% of the time. And if your ceiling is not caving in, the mold has not eaten through the attic to get there, so it's coming from below. If it can be wiped off, it's coming from below. So I probably helped a bulk of the people that are watching this now. I hope I have. So yeah, I'm sorry I got off a little.
No,
little
that's good. I mean,
topic.
those are the things that these are inside trade secrets that people don't realize. That mold didn't go through the roof, through the ceiling, from the roof, because it's on the surface and didn't cause it to collapse. That makes sense.
Yes.
But you wouldn't know that. You'd just be like, it must be coming from the roof. Where else would it be coming from? Well, it's because it's so easily transferable through just the air.
And not to interrupt and not to scare people, but an inexperienced company that's not aware and it's just thinking commonly, which is pretty common to think that it's from the attic. They might say, well, yeah, we have to take all the insulation out, treat the attic. $8,000 to $14,000 later, come to find out that wasn't even the problem.
Wow, they're starting to tear apart a ceiling and a roof and everything, and find out that it wasn't even the cost. Testing, everybody, kind of sense. All right, we're putting the hat on here. We got a couple minutes before our break,
Yes.
and we're covering some good stuff here. But give me, that was a good example. Do you have any? I can imagine how long you've been doing this. Give me another example or two of somebody that just didn't realize the situation where they were in. Maybe somebody misled them or pointed them in the wrong direction, but you had to step in and fix what the issue really was.
So I have a good one. So I have a gentleman who contacted a company from West Virginia or that area to do some work in our area. And they put in a system that brought air from it was a crawl space, brought air every once in a while. If the humidity hit a certain point, it would bring in air from the outside and then condition the air and then cycle the air out. And it was very extremely ineffective in our area and very inefficient and very wasteful, actually. So the idea of bringing in air from a humid area where we live, bringing humid air in, conditioning that air, and then cycling it back out, I told him it's just as bad as vacuuming the grass. What's the point? Okay. Right? So the idea is you want to encapsulate your crawl space and condition that space. So you keep the air where you want it to be and not allowing new moist air to be introduced into the space. So with all due respect, in West Virginia, I'm sure that system would work fine because they have a different climate and they have more natural wind in the mountains or whatnot, and maybe it's a little drier. But when you're surrounded by two rivers and your humidity sometimes is 100% year-round, even in the winter, because I check it daily, that doesn't work.
Yeah, there's so much humidity, and that's all mold needs, is that humidity to be at the right level, and it'll take off and cause big problems.
Yes.
Knowledgeable people here sharing some of their secrets, everybody. This is what we enjoy. All right, we're going to take a quick break here with some more of our community stuff. Enjoy this, and we'll be back here in just a minute. Giddy up.
Knows, but he doesn't like people to know you're behind this thing for years now.
Yeah.
Scoo Calvin sitting here with me. How long have you been doing this whole boxing thing for kids?
It's our 5th year as of last week, 5 years.
5 years. Mm-hmm. Another huge event today. Mm-hmm. You get to see everybody here. You have some of the best boxers in the area. Mm-hmm. Roberto Duran.
All the way from Panama, and it's his birthday.
And it's his birthday. Alexander the Great.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Alexander is one of the best boxers in the history of St. Louis.
Yes, sir. 3-time champion.
And I know that Michael Spinks has been involved.
Michael Spinks would have been here, but they got sick, so they had to take Miss Flo to the hospital. Get well, Miss Flo.
And I understand that, but I was at the last event, and he was here. Buster Douglas. You got some other superstars coming out that people are familiar with. Are you allowed to say those right now?
Yes, sir.
Tell us a couple of those names of people you know they're going to be here coming soon.
Coming soon. Actually, we supposed to head Evander Holyfield in the building.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going, and from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey everybody, Cardinal Cowboy here. I want to invite all of you to be part of my new team. No, you don't have to put on a baseball uniform and be a super fan. Now, it would be a good idea to cheer for the Cardinals, the greatest team in the history of the National League. But I'm talking about the Gold Cowboy team. You know, I love to help people follow their dreams and reach their goals in business and in life. So that's one of the reasons why I'm telling you about my friends at My Metal Pro. They help people like you and I acquire gold and silver with a membership that lets you safely buy, sell, and store gold and silver. They make it real easy to get started. My Metal Pro isn't like the big guys you see on network TV or the big coin shops that take a huge commission. So become part of my Gold Cowboy team. Scan the QR code or go to goldcowboy.com and check it out. Giddy up! Well, there we have it. A lot of people doing great things to help in the community. If you'd like to learn more about gold, please do check that out. Go to Gold Cowboy, goldcowboy.com. Right now, we're going to talk about mold and the problem you definitely want to take care of, because nobody wants mold in their house for any period of time. As much gold as you can fit, but don't get the mold stuff. And
Correct.
Gio here will make sure that we get rid of that. You brought a couple of the testing things you use,
Yes.
devices. These things look kind of extravagant. You showed a little bit in the first show. Give people a little bit more of an overview here. Hold that up for me.
Yeah.
And share everybody what you're doing there.
So this is the most updated air sampling device that I have found. It's much more updated and works more efficiently and correctly without chance of error compared to the other machines. The other machine, you have to adjust it, the air intake, and you have to use a timer, turn it off at the right time. If you get busy and it goes a little bit longer than need be, then your test is not going to be accurate. Whereas this takes the guesswork out of it. It has a timer built in. The air is adjusted, automatically. It's a much better, more efficient, and updated, modern machine. So.
Well, that's what we talk about. Technology does change, and we give a little quick blurb. But how does technology affect your business, you and the people that you love? But if you'd like to help your business owner friends or anybody who promotes a good cause, pick up our book here, Magnetize Media. It's the #1 seller on Amazon. Yours truly wrote the foreword. They said, Cardi, you end up writing the first chapter. You're supposed to just write the foreword. I couldn't just help. I ended up 1,800 words. Go look that up. I think that's about a chapter. But anyway, check out this book. You can see all the good information it's got out there. And it talks about how media, look at that weirdo, media does affect the way, and especially magnetizing your media is a great way to promote yourself, because these days, if you don't get your name out there, all the other guys are doing it, and through this new social media stuff.
Yeah.
Technology, you've got a great looking website. I'm going to jump over real quick and show everybody your guys' website. Let's start off with there, and then I went back into, you brought a few things here.
Yeah.
From technology side of the house that you can share with people a little bit. So let's go back here and take a look. If I look at wall number 2, there it is. GPS, Guaranteed Property Solutions, Affordable Mold Removal, Lifetime Guarantee. Tell me a little bit about some of these certifications that people are looking at. You've got a ton of it. Radon testing, mold remediation, spray foam. What else you got here? Tell me about that.
So we have 41 certificates in our field pertaining to mold and how to help you in your home or business or industrial environment. We do go above and beyond, and we do specialize in mold when it comes to environmental. So yeah, we're constantly getting certified. We just got certified to analyze samples in our lab in-house. However, we still send them out to a third-party accredited laboratory. That way we can actually help you with the remediation. If we analyze in-house, technically we shouldn't be doing the remediation. That's a conflict of interest. And we try to abide by the standards established by the National Association of Mold Remediators and Inspectors as far as, not doing anything that's wrong. We want to do it the right way. So
I'm the guy who's going to test it, but I'm also the guy who's going to fix it. My test came back and said it's fine, or my test said you need a lot more. It's independent parties. You
exactly.
Follow the rules.
It's a way to keep you safe. It's a way to keep us safe, keep everybody honest. Again, I love the lab we use. These are another one of our tests that we use that you might see me do. This is a swab sample, which is literally just swabbing a surface of some visible possible mold, which we would call potential microbial growth, until we get it analyzed and verified that it actually is. Here's another one, a tape sample that we would actually do a tape. It comes with a slide ready to put right under the microscope, and I would literally just take a tape sample, again, of the potential mold that's growing on an area, send that to a lab. And it's very important to do both tests, because the tape or the surface test can tell us if there's actual mold growth, and the air test will tell us how many spores are in the air and the different types of molds that are found.
Because it's floating around in the air and it's on the surface, and you want to take care of both of them. And they both point to different problems you might have. One big problem.
Well, if you're dealing with a potential legal issue, this is the only thing that'll hold up in court is a surface test telling you if there's actual mold growth or not. So it's very important in certain situations. And then if you want to know your air quality, I would suggest the air test. So it's a lot of different, potential tests and ways to inspect, where we're checking the humidity or even the moisture in your concrete or in your drywall. So it's important to give us a call and tell us what you're dealing with specifically, so we can know how to help you directly.
Well, that's great information, everybody. Obviously, the technology these days has improved so that you can do more efficiently, resolve the issues and test to make sure you are conquering the problem or addressing the problem.
Yes.
That's what we're doing here.
Yes.
All right, by now I can imagine, if you haven't already figured it out, Gio's an expert. You're probably thinking, how do I hire this guy? How do we get in contact? Tell me the process, a number of different ways.
Yeah.
What do you recommend people do to get a hold of you?
Whatever you're comfortable with. A lot of people text us. Texting is fine. It's, gives you that space to, kind of think about your responses. You want to text us, go ahead and text us. If you're a on the phone, vocal person, you'll call and you'll get me, and we can talk. You want to shoot me an email. You want to send me reports. You want to send videos. We get people that contact us on Facebook. Whatever you're comfortable with. You want to go have a meeting. You want me to come to your home and when we talk face to face. We're here to make you feel comfortable in an uncomfortable situation.
That is true. Not too many people are hoping one day, say, I can't wait to have some mold remediation issues. That's not what we're looking forward to. But somebody like yourself makes it very comfortable. Gio mentioned how we kind of just enjoy our conversation here. Gio's very good at making people feel comfortable too. Smile, be positive, but also get the job done, and that's what I can see you've done.
Yes.
Check out those reviews that he had on the first show we talked about. 5 stars across the board, everybody. 68 reviews. I'm going off memory, but I remember because it was notable what he's done there. Tell me then, what's a big challenge that you've had to overcome as a business owner, whether that's helping somebody in a difficult situation or a time when, and we'd like to hear those times when people have overcome and conquered.
Absolutely. Good question. So we have a lot of challenges in our field. Our field is full of challenges. Many of them we've met in the past. So, we're extremely confident in just about every job that we've been on in the past several years. Every once in a while I get a surprise. So for me, I think the most difficult is when a client has had several companies already come out and failed the remediation and they're doubtful, and of course, right? I mean, who wouldn't be? You've had somebody come out and attempt to fix a problem. You spent so much money, it didn't get fixed. Here comes another guy, same thing. Sometimes it's been 3 companies come out and haven't fixed it, and now here we come. So I'm getting the eyes and the looks and the feeling the tension, and those can be a little bit more difficult. But I take the time, I have the patience, thank God I've been blessed with, to consider those people and consider their situation and go to facts at that point. We're not doing magic. Let's again test, going back to the testing. Let's show exactly what we're dealing with. Take the guesswork out of it. We'll test before, we can test afterwards. Let's make sure we got rid of the problem. Let's give you that peace of mind that you really need when you're dealing with mold, because half of it's mental.
Mm-hmm. Wow, there's a lot that mold can actually affect your mentality, affect those neurons transmitting up there and cause people to have anxious situations and also just not clear thoughts. I didn't realize that, but if people they've tracked that back to a cause of mold.
Yes, there's a lot of mold groups out there, a lot of good information on Facebook, mold toxicology groups and answers of people that have been dealing with this for many years and have gone from house to house. So we love to save you that time, that pain, because yes, mold affects your psychology. It can make you feel depressed. It can make you have fatigue. It affects your health. It can give you skin alterations and all types of problems that you wouldn't believe, headaches. You know, so yeah, I've seen some pretty severe situations where you can clearly see the mold is affecting the person's, even their logic and understanding. So yeah, those are sensitive situations that I'm getting kind of used to at this point. And yeah, don't be surprised and don't blame your mom or your dad that's in that moldy house and they're acting a little bit different. Sometimes it's the mold that's making them act like that. And all you got to do is fix it.
Wow, good information. I didn't realize it. Mom, now I know what was going on. No, I don't know, but my mom's a wonderful young lady. She's just celebrated her 82nd birthday, everybody. But a leader in the community. But thank you, Mom, for always being understanding with me when I was the one getting a little bit crazy for you. But tell me then, what is when people have questions? What is one of the biggest questions people have? I say, oh, okay, I'm pretty interested in this, but what is the biggest question people have? Something they go, oh, I have an objection. I want to learn more, or I'm confused. What do people usually need help understanding?
So a big thing, I guess, that just comes to me now is the fact that mold is microscopic. You cannot see it with your naked eye unless there's a whole bunch of it. So, for example, in 1 square foot, you can have potentially 2 million spores of mold.
Wow.
On the head of a needle, you can have 160,000 spores on the tip of a needle, to give you an idea how small mold is. So, for the inspectors that are out there giving us a bad name, saying that's not mold, it doesn't look like mold, or if it crushes, it's mold, stay away from those guys. They don't understand that if they don't have microscopes on their eyes, you can't see it. We got to send it to a lab. Is it a clear infestation? Sure, but we can't determine, is it black mold? Did it spread to this part of the home? You know, and if we're going to treat something as if it's black mold, that costs more, because there's more steps involved to ensure that doesn't return. So let's actually diagnose the problem first, take the guesswork out of it.
Very important. That's why you do want to make sure you get the experts and get that testing done. I didn't realize. All right, well, obviously there's a lot you're an expert with here, and there's a lot of people that, but I have to ask you then, what is it that gives you the most satisfaction here as we finish up? We got about a minute left.
I love coming into a dirty situation and making it beautiful again. I love going into a home that's old and has a mold house smell and making it smell brand new, and it's staying that way. My home is as old as me, and I'm 44, and it smells brand new every time I walk into it. That's a satisfaction that I love to provide for everybody.
Well, that's very clear that you have a passion for what you do, and you're making an impact. And that's the kind of leaders we're looking forward to exemplify here on our show. Affordable mold removal, lifetime guaranteed. Go to GPS, which stands for Guaranteed Property Solutions, GPSillinois.com. You can text 618-924-0022.
Yes.
All right, everybody, stay tuned for more. This is the Your Little Castle Show. Giddy up.